We don't have an outside faucet. So
We're ready to go.
we are ready to begin. Thank you for joining us for the Board of Works meeting for August 3rd, 2022. Would you please rise for the pledge? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Roll call, please.
Linda Gregory,
Present.
Lola Maurer,
Present.
and Ted Baker.
Present.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'd make a motion to accept and approve the minutes of July 27th meeting.
Second.
Are there any questions, additions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Unfinished business. We have a public,
Claims? We're going to do the claims.
no. Yeah. Claims.
Sorry.
That's why you're here. Keep me alive.
That's why we're here.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I sent you a list of the claims yesterday afternoon, and just had our usual health insurance claims and alternative service concepts for workers' comp and general liability, and then we had some automobile purchases by the police and the fire that were done from the appropriations that we went through council for on cars that we happened to have gotten our hands on. So with that, I will open up to any questions.
Mr. Baker?
I don't have any other questions.
None for me, thank you.
Me either. Again, a few Comcast and CenterPoint claims and everything pretty much routine.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve?
I would make a motion to approve this week's claims.
And I would second it.
Any other questions or comments on this week's claims? All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, moving on to unfinished, we have a public service contract for the mission, but I don't see anybody here to deal with that one, so I assume we will leave it on the table. Next, we have, under new business, parade permit for Muncie Central's homecoming. Is there anyone here for that? Okay, would you contact them, please, and ask someone to be here next week, and we will table that one?
The good thing is it's not until September 30th.
It's not
so
until
there's plenty of
September,
time.
so they have plenty of time. Otherwise, I would go ahead with it, but I think it's appropriate that we have someone present. Okay, next we have an MSD right-of-way dedication.
Good morning.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Adam.
So, before you get a right-of-way dedication from Muncie Sanitary District to the city for the property at 2508 South Hoyt Avenue. That is a house that Sanitary District owns. House had been there for a long time, so they actually own the property all the way to the center line of the roadway. So this rectifies that and gives the city right-of-way ahead of basically MSD selling that property in the future.
Okay,
This is necessitated as MSD is going to do a stormwater project and repave the road and put some sidewalk all the way down Hoyt from, I think, Cowan to Memorial. So this is all in advance of that.
okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any other questions or comments on this right-of-way dedication?
All in order.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Is there, do we have to sign on this one?
Yes.
I don't see where that is. Maybe you can show me after the fact.
Yep, there should be a signature page.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, we have a back-to-school party.
It's that time already.
It is that.
We like back-to-school parties. Well, we just like parties.
Hello,
Morning.
Good morning.
Please introduce
morning.
yourselves.
I'm Vera Shannon Standback, and I'm here to represent my neighborhood block from the address of 1800 to 1800 to 1812 on Hines Street. And it is scheduled for this Saturday, This is our first one, so we doing back to school backpack drive for the kids, and we will have bouncy houses and a lot of fun activities. So I'm here to represent them.
All right.
This is on Hines from Turner to Elgin. And the hours are 11 to 5. You're going to be serving food and that kind of
Yes.
thing too? Good.
Yes.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
I'd make a motion to approve this request.
Second.
Any other questions or comments?
No, we just need to keep doing more things like this.
Yes.
Thank
And I
you.
hope you have decent weather for it, that's not
Thank
too
you.
awfully
It's
hot.
supposed to be like 85. So
Well, that sounds good.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And finally, on the agenda, we have an Alzheimer's walk for September 24th.
Yes, thank you. My name is Holly Merchant, and I am with
morning.
the Alzheimer's Association. So good morning, everyone. Before I kind of get into a couple details here, I just want to let you know that I am actually new at the association.
Okay.
So I am taking over for another walk manager. My understanding, from what I have been told to this point, is that the walk was here last year, so we are not changing anything as far as the route or how we're using Cannon Commons Park. And everything that I'm really going to talk about has is the same as last year, but was kind of already put into place before I came on board. So I feel like I'm doing a lot of catching up, just on a few things that wasn't done, like presenting here today. So just keep that in mind, and I'll do my best if you have any questions.
Okay.
So our event is Saturday, September the 24th. It will begin and end at Cannon Commons. However, the walk has two options. We have a 1-mile walk and then a walk that's approximately 2.5 miles. And I believe you should have those routes.
Right, we do.
So the pre-walk events will start at 9:30 in the morning, and then we will have an opening ceremony at 10:30 in the morning. That ceremony lasts approximately 15 to 20 minutes, and then we will start walking immediately after that. Our goal is to have approximately 322 participants in the walk this year. I think we are at about 40% right now, but we know that like the last 4 weeks is really when individuals and teams start registering, so we're going to see an uptick in those numbers. From what I was told last year, the streets did not get from what I was told, the streets did not get closed, and I don't believe there was much traffic control with the police, which I think was kind of a misconception of the previous manager and our committee of volunteers. And so the walk really took place on the sidewalks. But again, this year we're looking to have approximately 100 more participants than we had last year. And we're really trying to get back to what the walk looked like pre-COVID, so like 2019. So we'll have some safety measures in place, especially at the park. We are not doing a rolling start this year. We really want everyone to kind of, start at the same time. That really brings the excitement and the enthusiasm and so forth. So the requests from our volunteers have been that we actually be able to walk on the streets. But I know just from trying to get the paperwork done and talk with a couple folks at the police department, that may not really be an option. So really, like, I have talked to the chief of police, who said that they could provide traffic support at, double check my notes here, Main Street and Jackson Street. With the day of volunteers, we will have route monitors that are going to be helping out. So the first preference would be that we would be able to have the walk in the street. Second preference as an alternative would be that we could use the sidewalks, and then just ask for the traffic control from the police department, which I believe is how the application has been written for. But one thing I just want to make sure as I'm leaving here today that I really have an understanding of like where we are permitted to walk, because I don't want any miscommunication with our committee and our volunteers. And then I would like to be able to communicate this a little better in our email going out to all of our participants, so they know if they are actually going to be out in the street walking or if they are limited to sidewalks.
I believe that's something you're going to have to determine with the police department.
And I think from the last conversation I had, again, they would allow the traffic control at Main Street and Jackson Street. So I'm putting it out there that to expect the walk to take place on the sidewalks. Just really wasn't for sure like how much leniency we had. And since this is the first time I'm coming forward, really just kind of relying on you folks for some guidance.
Well, I think probably from the police chief's standpoint, I'm not speaking for him, but closing off all of these roads for the entire time, because not everybody's going to walk the same pace, and so it's going to get spread out.
Yeah, it does take approximately an hour
Yeah,
to get
so-
everyone through.
So that's a lot of police effort and a lot of work there
Yeah.
for
And-
that.
They don't do that for free.
Right, okay. So I think the way the application stands right now, just then having the approval to utilize the sidewalks within our route. And then, of course, if for folks who do choose to go the longer route, we will be going up around the greenways. But I have done the paperwork for that earlier in the month and sent that to Angie Poole.
Okay.
So I guess the request would be that we would just be able to utilize the downtown sidewalks and then have the police traffic support at the intersection of Main and Jackson, and then we'll use our volunteers to kind of help with the other intersections that my understanding, because I am not from Muncie, but my understanding is they're just not as busy intersections.
Well, and you can use your own common sense as far as what's appropriate that day too.
Sure, yeah,
So-
absolutely.
And that's where your volunteers will come in handy, but, okay.
Yeah. We don't, it's not our charge to approve,
Approve, okay,
at least that's my understanding of where you actually walk. I mean,
okay.
that's more a police control issue. Okay, is there a motion to approve this application?
I would make a motion to approve the application.
And I would second it.
Okay, any other questions, comments?
I just want to say how we appreciate how organized you are.
Yeah.
You are. You're very organized and well presented, so thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was a little nervous because, as I said, I feel like I'm catching up and I feel like I'm under the time crunch. So a lot of my job has been finding out what was done last year and trying to move forward and just make sure that our participants have the best event experience. So I really appreciate everyone's
You'll be a
help.
pro next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
We try not to be too formidable in this process.
Well, I actually have 3 walks. So I have this one, and then I have Greater Lafayette and Kokomo. But this is the only one that's through the city. The others are at the park. So I felt like the process was a lot easier just because it didn't involve the city.
Sure.
But I have done the route several times, just making myself familiar with the walk in the city. And I can. Not saying this because I'm in front of you, but of my 3 walks, this is by far the best route. So I'm glad we can make it work.
Thank you very much.
Good. Are there any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that ends our agenda. Do we have anything else?
We have-
Anyone?
Muncie Central here
Yeah, they showed.
for the homecoming. Or the,
No, we're not going to do it today because,
But he showed.
he's
oh,
here.
he's here now. Okay, come on up. You're fine.
Had an emergency at school.
Oh,
I'll
no.
show you how it's really done.
You come in late and it's, no.
This is just for our homecoming, our annual homecoming parade in
And
September.
you are not Jennifer, so you better identify.
I'm not Jennifer. Justin Oliver, assistant principal at Muncie Central. Jennifer is in charge of our parade, and she filled that out for me. So
Great.
this is just for our annual homecoming parade. It's a walking parade. I've already spoke with the MPD and the fire department, and they're actually going to be a part of the parade as well as helping with the streets. it's usually pretty quick. I'd say a half hour, right down Walnut to the roundabout and back down Mulberry.
Okay. And you've done this for years and years and years?
For years and years. I think I've stood in front of you guys more times than I can count.
Well, I can remember when I was at Central, that was one of the first years we'd actually had homecoming parades, so it's been a long time. Is there a motion to approve this request?
I make a motion to approve this great request.
Second.
Sorry I was tardy. You can
That's all right.
write me up.
I just didn't want us to go ahead without somebody here in case we did have a
Yeah,
question.
thank you.
All right.
Thanks for waiting on me.
Are there any other questions or comments on this request? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Thanks.
Great time.
Have a great day.
Now, is there anything else to come before us? Now's the time.
Request to allow us to campaign on the street. So it was a safe campaign, first of all.
That's
And,
important.
Yeah, it's very important. So it went well. We raised about $6,000 towards our goal of $30,000 to take our youth on a real nice educational trip. So we wanted to thank you for that. We also wanted to make you aware of an event that we have coming up. It'll be September 11th and September 18th at 7 p.m. It would be at 1219 South Macedonia. It's the old Craners Field,
Yeah.
that big field. So we purchased that field probably a year ago, and now we're doing a program on it. It's called The Stolen Identity, and so it's produced by us, written by us, and so all the youth of Delaware County, or a lot of the youth of Delaware County, so from Delta, Yorktown, and Muncie Central, and even some of the middle schoolers will be involved in it. So if you can, please show up. Let everybody know about it.
And what was the time?
It's at 7 p.m. And the date is the 11th and the 18th. And that's it, but thank you.
Well, thank
letting
you
us
for coming and
campaign.
letting us know.
Yeah, that's great.
Appreciate the update.
You guys have done this with excellence, so, which is part of the name, which you kind of have to do then.
Yes, sir.
Well done. You're under pressure with that, see.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Do we have anyone else this morning? Well, go out and try to stay cool today. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.